Welcome to another movie review here on Action Industries. My name is Ben Bateman, and today I'm talking to you guys about The Forever Purge, the fifth film in the famed Purge franchise, dropping this weekend in theaters nationwide. Now, this is the second film in the franchise not to be directed by series creator James DeMonaco, though he did write all 5 movies. This movie is directed by somebody who is not well known, not a director that most of us have ever heard of. Everardo Gout is his name. Has been involved in many hit TV shows that you would like, everything from like Luke Cage to Banshee. He's just in stuff. And he also was a second unit director on Romeo and Juliet back in the 90s, which is kind of interesting. So he's just been around for a long time. This is obviously somebody that DeMonaco had faith in to put behind this film. I will tell you guys overall, this movie's pretty fun. And I also will tell you something that who knows what this makes you feel as you watch this review. This is the first Purge movie that I have watched. I have never seen the other Purge films. And I say that to you guys to be honest, because as somebody who has seen a ton of movies in my life, I've always been curious about this franchise. I was invited to see this, and I decided, you know what? Let's go in and experience this Purge movie for the first time without any context. I basically knew the gist of the Purge series, like what it is, what it's about, what the actual Purge is. And I'll tell you guys, that concept is actually it's an enduring concept, I think, through the whole creation of this franchise. It's a concept that really does kind of power a 5th film here, and maybe I would enjoy this movie less had I seen the other 4 movies where I would kind of know what this world feels like. But for me, the dystopian feel is kind of fun. It's kind of fun to see everybody talking about the Purge like it's this understood thing where everybody's killing each other. But it is a little off-putting. It's so violent. There's so much murder and so much death. This movie takes very clear aim at the state of America over the course of the last 2 years. So much stuff about purification, racism, just very bigoted mentality is what this movie is kind of about. And it points the finger at the government, obviously. It points the finger at a lot of people with very closed-minded beliefs about what should be accepted. It's interesting, the film is not led by Josh Lucas. The film is led by kind of a group of mostly unknown actors. There's only a couple actors in the film that we actually really do know. The general movie-going population. Josh Lucas, who has been popping up in things a little bit more recently, but he was really a guy that had more of a career in the early 2000s in movies like American Psycho and Glory Road and showing up in that Reese Witherspoon movie that I can never remember the name of. Sweet Home Alabama, that's the one. Will Patton shows up in this one of my favorite old school character actors, huge Will Patton fan. And otherwise, it's mostly unknown actors. And so that's kind of what this movie is. The action is pretty compelling. It's done very well. There's some really fun stuff, kind of close quarters going through cities as they're falling apart. It is extraordinarily violent, which is, I think, par for the course with this franchise. It did make me want to go back and watch some of these old Purge films. My understanding from what I hear from Purge fans, and I would actually love to know, you guys watching this right now, what's your favorite Purge movie? Which is the one I need to go watch? Or should I just watch all 4 of them that I haven't seen now? I was going to go watch the Purge Election Year. That's the one that I had heard was the best Purge movie by a wide margin. So I know my man Frank Grillo, I believe, is in that one. There's some other actors that I like in this franchise. But I would tell you guys that if you've never seen a Purge movie, it's a pretty fun one. This movie is good. It's not great. It's definitely not bad, though. And I will tell you, seeing it in a theater, I actually had a lot of fun watching this in a theater. Some of the more sweeping cityscapes I thought were really cool. And there's some pretty wild, grotesque violence as well in this movie. So overall, I would say that this is probably a watch if you guys are into horror films. I think Everardo does a good job with the film. This film is led by, and I'm going to probably butcher these pronunciations, Ana de la Gruera and Tenoch Huerta, who both do a great job. I hope I got those mostly right. That is my first time pronouncing either one of those names in a video, and that's because neither one of these 2 actors has been the lead in a hit American film. They've both been in a lot of stuff. I mean, you're gonna see Anna in everything from Army of the Dead to Narcos. I mean, she's been around. She's done tons of stuff. She just isn't often the lead that's the one billed who we're talking about. And the same with Tenoch Huerta. I mean, he's somebody who was in Sin Nombre, but he's also in a bunch of other movies. He's Inspector. He's got credits. They've both worked a lot. But it is interesting to watch them be the leads in the film. The story is kind of about them persevering through a lot of prejudice in the film. And like I said, the film definitely takes aim at something that many of us in America over the course of the last 2 years have just been very painfully aware of. But it's a fun movie in the sense that it is playing with something that is very current right now. And I think that's probably one of the things that I find the most endearing about good horror films is they kind of have that ability because of the fact that they turn around so quickly. The subject matter tends to be fairly fantastical. If they want to focus on a real world issue, they're very able to. And comedies have a similar sort of thing, but I tend to find horror films do a really good job with this. And that's another reason why I've heard the Purge election year is actually so good. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching another review here on the channel, guys. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already to the channel. We do trailer reactions, live streams, movie reviews here all the time, and leave a comment. I would love to know your favorite Purge movie, and if you plan to see this one in a theater. Otherwise, a huge thank you to Universal for inviting me to come see this film, and I can't wait to bring you guys more reviews very, very soon. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.